So some of the questions we get asked a lot of the time is, what is a buyer's agent and how can you help me? Before we go on, we'd like to inform you that all our material is for informational purposes only and should not be considered as professional or financial advice. You should seek independent financial guidance from a professional who can advise you on the best ways to proceed in your personal circumstances. We're the specialists for people buying a house, so if you were going to have a shoulder reconstruction, you would have a doctor that would perform that operation. You wouldn't do that yourself. You would go to a professional to get a professional service and get a professional delivery, and that's what we do from a buyer's agent. So, easy way to put an example is, what is a buyer's agent? Exactly the opposite as a real estate agent for the buyer. So you think when you sell your house, your real estate agent represents you, tries to get the highest price, tries to get the most viewings, tries to get the highest market of people to view this property. We're the exact same on the other side of the fence. So we open buyers' eyes up to new areas, new demographics of population growth, new infrastructure that are coming out, and use historical data, current data and future data to then work out what areas are going to flourish and accelerate in the next few years. So then what we can do there is narrow down to your price point based on the amount that you're approved for to be able to buy in those sorts of areas to effectively maximize your profits and investing in a high growth, high yielded area. And the benefits of using a buyer's agent, we have access to off-market properties that a lot of people don't have access to. So what is an off-market property, most people ask? So an off-market property is a property that people like to sell off-market without having to use the normal resources that they usually use, like your realestate.com, your domain, or even your local newspaper or Facebook page or things like that. An off-market property could be a deceased estate. It could be a property that the seller doesn't want to actually facilitate the area or the demographics of that population knowing their business, so then they would rescind to an off-market property, and then it would be done behind the scenes, not having to pay additional fees for your realestate.com advertising, videos, photos, all that sort of stuff. So also you can reduce your time and efforts in purchasing that property, and then you don't have to worry about heaps of time wasters and tire kickers and all those people going, oh, how much can I get for this house? Is it 500,000? And it's worth $1 million. So you really cut out those time wasters and you'll go through professionals dealing with professionals. So the real estate agent will give the off-market properties to the buyer's agent, cutting out the middleman so that we can create a quicker transition from one property to another and making it holistically easier to purchase property with more resources. And we also have really good relationships with real estate agents. So a lot of them will give us first opportunities, as we will already have pre-approval buyers ready to go, but we just don't have the properties. So then that transaction is a lot faster. The real estate agent has a property, gives it to us where we already have a buyer, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. From a buyer's agent's perspective, what we do is we look at things from a national level and have a holistic approach. So a lot of people will go, oh, I want to buy in Liverpool because that's where I live and I know the area and my uncle bought there and my auntie bought there. Great. There's no justification, there's no research, there's no data. Therefore, you need to have professionals with professional opinions and resources to be able to facilitate these purchases. So for example, if we're looking at a national level, then what we'll do is we'll find regions that have the best growth, the best infrastructure. Are they building a new train station? Is a shopping centre coming in? What else is going on? Is there new hospitals? Heaps of other ways that we can tell if a suburb is going to increase in value based on the resources from the local governments and the federal government. But also what we do is we find areas that have really low vacancy rates to ensure that you're not going to have issues with finding tenants. You may get a really good house for a really good price, but the problem is if you don't have the tenants or the vacancy rates are high, you're competing with all the other real estate investors out there who want to get the highest price for their rental. So then what we do is we look at places that have less than 1% vacancies, which evidently will ensure that predominantly you always have the best available facilities finding a tenant, because you have so many tenants available. You might have 200-300 tenants looking at one property. So supply and demand, that's going to help you increase your wealth. It's going to get you more yield, and it's going to get you into another property sooner rather than later. Look guys, I hope that you found this video informative and it helped you understanding what a buyer's agent does. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button below and subscribe to our channel for more real estate videos like this. And if you have any questions relating to real estate that you'd like us to make a video on, leave us a comment in the section below or email us at admin@windowpropertygroup.com. See you in the next one.